Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Warrior Women Wednesdays. My name is Annie, and I am the program coordinator of Calling All Crows. Before we get started, I would like to acknowledge the land that I am recording on. I am in Chicago, Illinois, which is the native lands of the Odawa, Potawatomi, and Miami people. We are so glad you're back with us for week 2 of Warrior Women Wednesdays. If you missed week 1, you can still find it on the Calling All Crows and Return to the Heart Facebook page. This is a series that we do every Wednesday in November as part of our celebration of Native American Heritage Month. We are so excited to be back with Return to the Heart and Gina, who I'm here with today. Gina is the co-founder and co-CEO of Return to the Heart. But for those of you who don't know what Calling All Crows is, we are a nonprofit that works to connect music fans and artists with movements for feminist justice and equality. So one of the ways that we do that is by doing this series with Return to the Heart, so we can really get fans involved in important social justice movements like the one that Return to the Heart is doing. They are an incredible organization that exists to uplift and shed a light on the stories of Native women and girls. So in this series, we get to hear some incredible conversations, and we get to hear about and see art and really, really cool initiatives and movements that these women are making in their communities. So I'm super excited for this week's episode. I'm going to go ahead and let Gina take over and introduce who we will be hearing from this week, and she'll introduce herself and give a little bit more context on Return to the Heart. Please check out Return to the Heart. We're going to link their website in the comment section. There are tons of ways you can support them and get involved. But without further ado, I'll go ahead and pass it over to Gina.
Uhagani, Nianara Benya. I'm Gina Jackson. I'm Western Shoshone and Ogallala Lakota, co-founder and co-CEO of the Return to the Heart Foundation. So happy that I get to work with Calling All Crows and collaboration. We do this. We've been doing this every year, really lifting up, the beautiful, strong Native women, their voices, and just really giving insight into amazing work that's happening all across the U.S. Today's show, we have Leah Wetzel, who is one of our traditional helpers and healers. We have Raye Zaragoza, who was in the inaugural fellowship, Society Fellowship. She's going to give you some background on one of the songs she wrote, Not a Monster, and then we'll play it at the end of the show today. We have Nichole and DeRoin, who's going to share about her project. She's also a traditional helper and healer. And we also finally have YoNasDa LoneWolf, who is also one of our inaugural Society Fellows, and her work around revolutionary healing. Hi there. I'm so excited to have you with us today, Leah. We are featuring, amazing women for Warrior Women Wednesday, and you're one of those amazing women. Since our audience doesn't know you necessarily, would you please share a little introduction about yourself before we get started?
Yes, so Oki Nastu ni Danaku, Ayo Punagaki, Ayo Upskani Bikani. Hello, relatives. Thank you, Gina. It's an honor to spend time with you, and definitely always an honor to be a voice for those doing good work.
Yeah, will you give a little bit of background about what brings you to be a person who's followed a path that has been fighting for justice and equity and challenging the criminal justice system and opening opportunities and opening doors for other Native women?
Sure. So, just a little background on me is I am a woman in recovery. I'm a mother, and I've got a long background of really struggling with substance use disorder, mental health, diagnosed co-occurring. And so I spent a lot of time in and out of the criminal justice system, just really lost. And, that was my coping mechanism for so long, was to use. And it took me almost losing my life to finally realize that I had a bigger purpose. And I always believed in a higher power. I always believed in creator. But definitely reconnecting with my original ways has been a big piece of my wellness. And so now, so I kind of made an agreement with creator when I lived through this situation. So I'm a survivor of human trafficking, like most relatives, survivor of a lot of different things. But when I made it through that last situation, I made an agreement with creator that if I was going to make it out, I was going to do all I could to help others. And so I try to just be an example, and I try to be that authentic human being that creator meant me to be. And it took me a long time to get to where I am, and there's no end point. It's recovery and our ways, growing, learning. They're a lot similar. They fit very well. It's a forever ongoing journey of learning and trying to stay as humble as possible. But yeah, so I went through different programming in the justice system and came out, got some training, started offering, got certified through the Board of Behavioral Health, and started offering a program to the 8th Judicial Treatment and Veterans Court to the Native American dynamics. And things just kind of blew up from there. And so now I'm working under a couple different organizations, being an advocate at the state level, really trying to be that liaison, that in between the tribal areas and the state, which that's a lot of healing work in itself too, and educating, letting the state know, they're saying we want to hear more from the tribal communities. And I'm like, well, this is, there's a lot of healing that needs to be done, a lot of educating. And so, yeah, it's been pretty cool. I've been supporting organizations and implementing peer support. So people have lived experience, supporting people have lived experience. And of course, they're trained, they're certified. And 3 of those drop-in centers are tribal drop-in centers. So we've been advocating to be the outcomes for those have been amazing. And so we were able, about a year and a half in, we're able to go to that same entity within the state that's funding this and say, hey, let's be the first state to have tribal drop-in centers, in all our tribal areas, because they fit. Our people are always about community, supporting one another, and having a purpose and a place. And I think that can be really helpful when we're faced with, things like substance use disorder and mental health issues. So yeah, that's a little bit about what I've been doing underneath Montana's Peer Network. And then I've been honored to, I was just telling Gina before this, it's hard when you're that, I'm going to use the word token, when you're that token Native that's representing a whole population. And so I've been really advocating that there's so many more than me. There's so many more Native American survivors, so many more Native women that are doing great work, not only across the state, but all over. And so just sharing that, how important it is that we have a survivor aspect at the table when we're moving forward with, we did strategic planning with the Attorney General's office here in Montana. And we made national news with going forward with House Bill 112 to strengthen state law against human trafficking, because Montana is 4th in all the U.S. for having, some of the highest MMIP cases. And so this year, I got an initiative going to try to get a representative or advocate from each tribal area to be like our main committee or council. I want to call it a society, to be that main society. And so those are going to be our leaders. And then me and some other ones under here, you know, like our advisor council, and then us under here. And because I believe it's so important we have voice from every area, and that we're the voice and face of who we're representing. When I started in this part of the movement, it was really law enforcement led, non-native led. And I'm like, what's going on here? And, you know, I started branching out and networking on different levels. And they're like, oh, wow, we would love to have our survivor Native American woman, you know, helping. And where back at my hometown, they were just looking down on me. And so, you know, pushing against those barriers and those, you know, breaking through those glass houses and things that have been there that our ancestors had to feel and fight against, trying to bust through those ugly systems to try to make it better and easier for that next generation to come in and really take off and do their thing, because I don't want the next generation to have to go through what we did, you know. So.
Yes, thank you. You are so amazing, so resilient, and your strength and your heart to give back. All of that is so amazing. I am proud. I am proud to know you. I am proud to have you as a traditional helper and healer, and proud to call you my friend. It's just like, I just am in awe. And the humility, it just touches my heart. But so I have a couple questions for you. What has Return to the Heart been as far as a support? And then what would you say to other Native women out there who, want to do something but just haven't stepped out?
Well, thank you for your kind words, Gina. Same. I feel honored to know you. I'm a big fan. And so to those of you that are watching, I just want to say that Return to the Heart Foundation has been a pivotal piece to my work and to my healing journey. When I first found an application online to apply for their Traditional Helpers and Healers grant, I was at a place where I didn't feel like I was being very heard. I had all these like ideas. People were looking at me like I was crazy for wanting to start these things, being only, I was maybe 2.5, 3 years in recovery. But I took a chance. And the first one I didn't get, but I went back and I did it again. And I think the biggest thing is we can hold ourselves back from excelling and exceeding. And once I did even put that first one in, I had a connection. I had a connection with Gina. I had a connection with Joni. I had a connection with the women that were working on under Return to the Heart Foundation. And they've been great examples for us and really a driving force for me to keep doing my work. Because sometimes we feel alone when we're advocating and, being that representative in, whatever it is we do. But once and the grant's pretty easy and self-explanatory, and you feel so good. And that was my very first grant I ever wrote ever in my whole life. And since then, it just really gave me that courage to really keep going. And once a year, annually, we all meet up. We all, these wonderful women fly us out, and we get to meet other Indigenous women doing amazing work across the country. And it's almost like going to ceremony, because you go, you get filled up, and you're good, and then it comes about that time the next year, and it's like, okay, I need to go get filled up again. And it's a family. And so those of you that may be thinking about it, all I could say is just do it. If I can do it, you can do it. And there's support out there. And once you make those connections, they're lifelong connections.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. And we are excited to, continue working with you and supporting you and cheering you on in all of the work that you do in the future.
Thank you, Tina.
Hi, Raye. So glad you could be with us today for Warrior Women Wednesday. We are so proud and excited about all of the work that you've been doing, and congratulations on the new album. For those out there listening to us today who may not know you very well, would you please introduce yourself?
Yes, Shupgait, Anyak Chogik, Raye Zaragoza. Hello, everyone. I'm Raye Zaragoza, and I am of Akime Atam descent. I'm also Mexican and Taiwanese and Japanese, and I'm coming to you from a hotel in New York City today, where I am because I'm in rehearsals for the new Peter Pan musical. And yeah, it's so good to be here. I'm a singer-songwriter. I guess now I'm an actor. And a dancer, I guess. But what I mostly do is singing and songwriting, and I'm just so glad to be here talking to you, Gina, for Warrior Women Wednesday. And yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, so tell us what you are really excited about. I mean, I heard a little bit, but let's go through. Tell us.
Yeah, what am I really excited about? I mean, I'm really excited about this musical and being in this whole new reimagined version of Peter Pan that Larissa Fasthorse has taken from the roots and pulled it out and created something so new and incredible and less harmful, not harmful anymore, like the original. And I'm just really excited to get to be portraying the new and improved Tiger Lily and to be a part of this really classic story that has been long overdue for a renovation. And I just feel very, very fortunate about that. I also had my third album come out this year called Hold That Spirit. I went on my first headlining tour that just ended about 2 weeks ago. And so I have a lot I'm excited about, but honestly, what I'm most excited about is just like the autumn in New York and getting to be super present here and get to be in New York for an entire month for rehearsals. I've been hopping around from place to place, moving like almost every day, like a different city every night on my last tour. So to have one bed that I get to stay in for an entire month is very exciting for me.
Awesome. Awesome. So you're there for Peter Pan. Tell us about the Peter Pan, like the tribal component, and what does that look like?
Yeah, it's really exciting about this new version of Peter Pan. And if those of you who know the original, it was that Tiger Lily was the daughter of the chief who was very silent and not very empowered. And this was all a fictionalized North American tribe that was very harmful and played into stereotypes and just, we all know it was not good. And so now with the new Peter Pan that we're doing, every person, a part of Tiger Lily's tribe, and Tiger Lily is now the leader of the tribe, every person a part of the tribe is from different tribes all over the world. And they all came to Neverland to preserve their culture. So they all were the last of their people. And all of these tribes are based off of ancient extinct tribes from all over the world. And so it's a very exciting moment that there is such a diversity that we're representing with this tribe that all came together and met to preserve their cultures in Neverland. And another thing that's exciting is that Tiger Lily is going to be mixed race, just like I am. And so I'm really excited, and it's going to be really shown in the costume. And I'm really, really grateful that the creative team was excited to make Tiger Lily mixed race because I am mixed race, and I'm very proud of that.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see this. Where can folks get their tickets or follow along?
Yeah, so you can go to peterpanontour.com, and I don't think tickets are available in every city, but they are available in many cities. Our first city we're going to for our opening previews is St. Paul, Minnesota. We'll be there for all of December. So if you want to see the show at its very beginning, come to St. Paul. And we're going to be going all over the country. So check it out, peterpanontour.com. And you also can follow me on Instagram. It's at Raye Zaragoza, RayeZaragoza, to find all of my updates. And I'll always update you about Peter Pan as well.
Awesome. So one of the things that was really powerful was a song on your new album, Not a Monster. And when I first heard it, I just froze because it just spoke to me in such a deep way. And I wasn't really sure like which way it was going to go. I had to listen to it like 3 times in a row to really, take it in. And we're going to actually feature that song after this interview. But would you give the audience today the backstory about Not a Monster?
Yeah, so Not a Monster, I wrote about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago. And it's about my struggle with eating disorders and body dysmorphia and poor self-image. And growing up in the entertainment industry, it was very easy to feel like I had to look a certain way and that I had to put all this pressure on myself to be quote unquote perfect. And that put a lot of unhealthy pressure on me that turned me to disordered habits and a need to feel like I was in control through food and through body image. And so I really wanted to write a song about that because it's something that I've dealt with for pretty much, half of my life since I was in high school. And I've never talked about it openly. And I've always just kind of hid it and not wanted to share about it because it felt really like gross and ugly and shameful. But I'm realizing that if I can talk about it openly, it could give other people strength and courage to get help as well. And now that I have gotten so much better and have gotten a lot of help and sought professional help, my life has just gotten so much better and I'm so much more present in my life. And, there's so many things that are so amazing and enjoyable about life that don't have to do with the way you look. And I think that so often we feel this pressure that the thing that matters most in life is appearance. And I feel like that's a very American westernized thing when really that's not who we are at our core. Like that doesn't matter. Who we are at our core is, how do I feel and how am I contributing to the world around me? And how do I enjoy the people around me? And so now that I've really understood that on a greater level, I enjoy my life so much more. And so Not a Monster is about looking in the mirror and realizing that you are not a monster. You are beautiful just the way you are.
Awesome. It's amazing how when you really are healing, things that were shameful or felt terrible, they lose their sting. They lose their power. And by sharing this and sharing your story and the song, it's going to help so many others because we all like who doesn't have, issues and worries and concerns,
Exactly.
and also too, it, goes back to colonization and that indigenous, lens and being able to embrace, who we are and not see ourselves through that colonized lens. So thank you.
Exactly.
Last words before we roll the song. What advice would you have for women out there, young and older, who want to step out into their dreams, but maybe haven't yet?
Yeah, I mean, my advice would be like, no matter where you are in life, is to find your creative outlet that brings you joy. And that, when you really are in that flow state of doing something that you love, it doesn't matter if it's for a career or if it's for a hobby. All that matters is that you are in that flow state of creation. And I just feel like everyone deserves a creative outlet, and that creative energy needs to flow through us to keep us healthy. And so whatever that may be for you, whether it's writing or painting or whatever form of creation that you do, like keep it going and share it, because especially as Indigenous people, like the world needs to hear our stories and needs to consume our art. And we are a ripple effect. And if we can create, then like everyone around us is going to be inspired to create. And it's a part of decolonization is creation. And I am just very, very passionate about everyone having a creative love and to always honor that creative love every day. And if you're someone who wants to get into music, I would say, one, like send me your music. I'd love to hear it. Send it to me on Instagram. And just don't let the inner critic and the inner voice get in your way. You're never going to feel 100% ready to do anything. Whenever I do anything, like doing this show, I haven't done musical theater in 10 years or 12 years. And, you know, part of me wants to have like imposter syndrome, like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. But, you know, I think no one feels ready when they have a big moment. So you just have to just pretend to be ready. And then when you get there, maybe day 3, you'll feel ready. But day 1 and day 2, you're not going to. But that's okay, because everyone feels that way. So sometimes you just have to be brave and hold your breath and take that leap, because, you know, it always pays off, even if it's just all the joy that it'll bring, to take a chance. And yeah, that's my advice.
Thank you so much for joining us, and we're excited to hear your song.
Thank you, Gina.
Hi, Nichole. I'm so glad that you're able to join us today. We have Nichole, DeRoin Davidson, who is one of the traditional helper and healer grantees. Nichole, would you mind giving us an introduction of yourself?
Yes. Halito. My name is Nico or Nichole DeRoin Davidson. I am of the Oto and Choctaw tribes, which reside in Oklahoma. I am of the Bear Clan, and I am a descendant of the Relocation Act during the 1950s. My family relocated to the Bay Area in San Jose.
Thank you. So, Nico, what are you excited about right now with your work?
Pertaining to my work, I have a native coloring and activity book that is being put together. It coincides with a 6 to 12 week curriculum that is teaching powwow wellness, dance, and movement on the land. It also explores Indigenous foods and health and plant medicines and their uses.
Sounds amazing. Now, your project, Powwow Wellness, why is it important?
It's important to keep the community together. Growing up in the Bay Area, as I said, I'm a descendant of the Relocation Act. So I did not grow up in my tribal community. I grew up in a community that was intertribal. And so from there, we made connections with everybody. We learned from other tribes, different languages. And I feel that that was really important in shaping my view of our Indigenous people.
Awesome. So, you know, there's a lot of other people out there who might have an idea or a dream, but they haven't actually stepped out to do it. What advice would you give those folks, younger or older?
Well, I am 40 years old and following my dream. This has been a passion of mine, and it's been on the back burner as I started a family, finished school. And so for anybody middle-aged and older, it's not too late. And for the young people, I say, take that healthy risk. And, you know, even if it doesn't follow through, if it's not the outcome that you want, keep trying. Just keep trying and do what ultimately feels amazing to you, that fulfills you, that brings you joy.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Now, The last question I have is, what has support from Return to the Heart meant to you?
It has meant that I can fulfill part of the dream. I can pay the people in my inner circle to collaborate. And, you know, for teachers and supplies, for Native Americans, I can't just walk into a store and say, I'm going to take this alphabet in Ogallala language. I can't say, give me these numbers in Oto or Choctaw. Like, we have to make it from scratch. And so with this coloring book, it is a complete powwow coloring book with regalia. And so with the money from the grant, I was able to do that from the ground up and make it complete for students to understand.
Wonderful, wonderful. Any last words you want to share with folks that are listening to Warrior Women Wednesdays? And yes, you are a warrior woman. That's why we asked you to be here.
Thank you. I'll accept that. I think closing, just be passionate and follow that, and build your support group. I think surrounding yourself with people that are positive, that has been a truly life-changing path for me. There will be those that will challenge you, and you have to rise to that challenge and say, this is what I'm doing and I believe in it. And so for those that, want to be warrior women also, take that path, take that healthy risk.
Well, thank you so much. It was great talking with you today, and we'll look forward to amazing things you're going to be doing in the future.
Thank you.
Hi, YoNasDa. I'm so happy you're here today with us for Warrior Women Wednesday. And we have been just, so lucky and honored to know you, to partner with you, to have you as one of the original society fellows, and really just to have that beautiful partnership where, it's, Native women, BIPOC women supporting one another. And so we're so happy here to have you here today, and excited to hear what's the latest and greatest, because there's always something really exciting going on with you. Before we started, would you mind giving yourself an introduction and then share a little bit about what is revolutionary healing?
Yes, well, thank you so much. I feel like I am home for this. And R2HF. My name is YoNasDa LoneWolf. I am a proud enrolled tribal member of the Ogallala Lakota Sioux Nation from Pine Ridge, South Dakota, and also Black. And revolutionary healing, I feel like you and Sarah and everyone else have been Allie, and everyone has been there from the beginning of revolutionary healing, of this just idea of just doing these retreats. And so I started doing these retreats called Revolutionary Healing, which are day retreats on the third Sunday of every month in Georgia back in 2020. The last event was the Friendsgiving. Every year I do a Friendsgiving festival. The last one was last year that you all came and also co-sponsored, which was amazing. It was cold that day, but it was just really good that it was people from all nationalities coming together and just sharing various forms of healing, which I feel that in so many different cultures, everyone has their way of healing, of being able to express healing through song, through dance, and then as well as just self-healing and figuring out ways to be able to. I think every culture has ways of, how to mourn, how to be able to, if you're feeling depressed, if there is, there's just so many different things that we've learned throughout the years with revolutionary healing, with having all these different people come and teach on how to be able to, make a vegan food on a budget, or how to garden, massage therapy, talking circles, all of these various things of healing is all revolutionary. And so this year, Unfortunately, I did not do the Friendsgiving Festival. It would have been next week if I did do it. And I did find a place that was inside. It was going to be inside outdoor, indoor outdoor place or whatever. But this year, I have been tunnel vision on opening up a revolutionary healing center and event space. And so we are a nonprofit. So if anyone would like to donate to us, but we're pushing for maybe the spring of 2024 of having this open and having this be a place, a hub for not just culture, but for wellness and as well as entrepreneurship. We're going to have a storefront of supporting a lot of BIPOC small businesses. And here in Atlanta, I believe it's becoming more of a cultural hub. In the past year, the Creek Nation, which is the Muskogee Creeks, which is this is their ancestral homelands, they've been coming home. They've been coming home and doing these amazing stomp dances. And so to see that these trees been swaying and moving, because they haven't heard these ancient songs in so many years. And so, so just been working with the Muskogee Creek people, and then we've been also been fighting against Cop City, which is a militarized police training facility that they're trying to build here in Georgia. And so to have the Muskogee Creek people, these traditional grassroots activists, that have been coming here from Oklahoma, that is just like standing with us and saying, no, we this should not be happening here with this Cop City. And so, it's just a beautiful thing to see that so many people are coming back home to Georgia that are historically from here. And then it's also great to see such a huge amount of Native Americans that are coming here from all across the nation. I just met a Navajo family. Many Lakotas are moving down here, Ojibwe, like the list goes on. I think Atlanta is starting to become this huge cultural hub that people are like, oh, we got to go down there because we don't have any snow like that. So, so I think that's what it is. You still get the country without the snow. So yeah, that's what's been happening in the past year.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And I love that, you're really moving forward with not just, with the concept and ideas of the revolutionary healing that we all needed, and that we coming together can heal together. But now taking it up to the next step to actually be a place that is not just once a month, but it can be every day. Love that. So if folks are interested in like talking to you or learning more or even donating, where should they go?
To therevolutionaryhealing.com. It's therevolutionaryhealing.com. And we have a donate. And then if you want to purchase some merchandise, we have some really great merchandise, from leggings to mugs to hoodies to clothing, everything. So if you would like to support in that way as well.
Wonderful. All right, everyone, take a look. Tell us the website one more time.
therevolutionaryhealing.com.
Great. Well, thank you so much for being here with us today, and just sending you so much hugs, so much love, and look forward to coming to visit sometime.
Thank you. Can't wait to see you.
Bye.
Bye.
Your hands wrapped around my throat. What you want, I don't know. You take a shot and then you swing, but I keep fighting. I'm fighting. It's like a shadow on my heart, and I don't know how it started, but I'm not living that life anymore. No, I'm not living that lie anymore. So hear me, hear me. My body's not a monster, and I'm finally gonna let that thunder roll. It is a mountain far too steep. It is a secret I can't keep. It's a ravenous obsession that keeps telling me that I'm not good enough. But I'm better than the lies that you sing to me at night. So hear me, hear me. My body's not a monster, and I'm finally gonna let that thunder roll. Let that thunder roll. Let that thunder roll. Let that thunder roll. My body's not a monster, and I'm finally gonna let that thunder roll. My body's not a monster, and I'm finally gonna let that thunder roll. My body's not a monster, and I'm finally gonna let that thunder roll. My body's not a monster, and I'm finally gonna let that thunder roll.
Gina, thank you so much. That was an incredible episode. We always love to hear from Raye. Raye is a longtime collaborator of Calling All Crows as well. The other stories were super inspiring and powerful too. I can't wait to check out these incredible women more. I encourage you to do the same. If something piqued your interest, definitely explore, learn how you can support. I hope that something resonated with you. I hope you're feeling inspired. We super appreciate you taking the time to watch Warrior Women Wednesdays. Please definitely check out Return to the Heart and see ways that you can get involved there as well. But we will see you next week for the third installment of Warrior Women Wednesdays. Gina, is there anything else you'd like to say to the folks who are watching this episode today?
I would just say that your allyship means everything. And if you would like to join the Sister Circle and be a part of our giving circle, I invite you to do so. Sign up for our newsletter on the website so you can keep in touch and learn about the work that's happening all year round.
Okay, great. Well, we will see you all next week. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.